Music has continued to gain traction in the country as Kenyans try out new music genres. We caught up with a musician, McCain Musembi, who is just one of the proprietors of the now popular music group dubbed Nairobi Horns Project, to ask how they managed to hit the right chords and notes and are now earning a living from their performances. Take a look.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Good stuff, man. Well, that is none other than McCain Musembi, who is the music and strategy at Nairobi Horns Project. Thank you for making time to come have this great discussion with us around the music and what you guys are basically doing in shaping the jazz music in Africa and, of course, in Kenya. Many thanks. Perhaps just which track was that? I was trying to figure it out, but I got lost somewhere.
That's actually a Jua Kali track. What I do is every time I get an opportunity, I always play Kenyan music. And I like the popular stuff that people listen to. I think it's great music. I think it's been around for a long time. People like it. Yeah, so that's Kwaheri by, it's like a sample from Kwaheri.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I remember the track.
Yes.
So perhaps, Musembi, talk to us about Nairobi Horns Project, how you started off, and of course, it seems you guys hit the right keys and things have flourished for you guys.
Yeah, well, we can't really complain. It's been a very good run for the last maybe 5-6 months that we've been, in existence. But the whole idea was conceived 2 years ago when I was working on Coke Studio Season 2. That we can have a horn section, just trumpet, trombone, and sax.
Yeah.
For people who can just play good music, do arrangements for people, do studio sessions and stuff like that. And then we did get a break early this year. We had the unit as it is at the moment.
Yeah. And
we did. We're like backing artists. We use, like when you have a big concert, you need a horn section to get us for it. So we did this Authoritative Soul album launch. I think that was like our first thing we did. So the aim was just to brand like a group of horn players who can play really well.
That's good.
And they can work with as many people as possible.
And I've been watching some of your performances on YouTube. Yeah. I mean, you've done some spectacular performances at the Safaricom Jazz Festival. And I mean, the list is endless. What's in for 2017? Any big performances we are looking forward to?
Yeah, actually, 2017 is going to be amazing. There's a lot of things we've planned. We just dropped our EP, extended play. That's like pre-album kind of thing, which will be going in onto iTunes from February.
Awesome.
That's got very good reception. We had a sold-out concert in December, which was very good as well. This year, in February, will be the month of jazz, I guess, because the main Safaricom Festival will be happening at the end of it.
Yeah.
But also before the festival, there's some things we're working on which we can't really say at the moment.
All right.
But it's going to be, we have a twist.
You can tip me off.
Yeah, basically we'll be doing collaborations with people from beyond Kenya.
All right. Any names in particular?
No names at the moment. But come February 1st, I'll give you all this information.
All
yes,
right.
But yeah, we've
artists from which countries?
We've had interest from South Africa, from the UK, So we're just in the middle of like finalizing these conversations with these people. We hope, that can happen. But also we'll be putting out way more content. This year we have to put out the full album, and just play a lot of good music, I hope.
How has been the reception out in the masses, really?
Amazing. For a group that plays instrumental music, where no one sings, I think it's been very humbling for me, because we didn't think, I didn't really imagine that it would be that big a splash when we came out. But yeah, people really like the vibe. We have people who really follow us online. and come to our concerts, ask, when the next show and stuff like that. That's very good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I've attended 1 or 2 jazz concerts,
Yeah.
and the numbers keep swelling every time.
Yes.
And the young people are really embracing this kind of music. Perhaps what's the main attraction around jazz music and performances by yourself and other like-minded people?
I think the genre has been, the interest in the genre has been growing, many thanks to Safaricom and the International Jazz Festival they do. But also because people are beginning to realize that there's a lot of things out there, that people can do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variety in terms of music. Jazz is not like a widely popular genre, so to speak.
Sure.
But the numbers, I think last year was like, over 10,000 people at the festival.
Yeah.
Because people are getting exposed to this thing and they're liking it because, it's nice, it's people, things they relate to, it's music, good music just speaks to the soul.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice. Perhaps just talk us through around. People have the feeling that the arts are not rewarding in terms of what you earn.
Okay.
I don't know, what's your story as a group?
The arts do pay in general because things have changed. I used to, before I got into music full time, it was 2013, I worked in the office for 6 years, but now I can tell you, if you have the right product, it's all about the product and the marketing and the branding. If you get this right and you have your proper strategy, who are you selling it to, who are your people, you have to figure out the business side of it, I guess. Good art pays, but you have to be backed up by a very good, solid business. Yeah, but I live off
All right.
that.
And perhaps what's your projection around income earning for the arts industry, especially jazz music? It's internationally, it is a big genre that has been doing well for many years, but in Africa, it's still fairly trying to make a mark.
Okay, I think it's not really the biggest genre. Actually, it's the smallest genre. But you see, the people who like it really like it. So it's like a locked-in market. But now I think there are a lot of people and groups who are doing different things. Like they're fusing elements of jazz and other things. Because even I don't really so much identify myself solely as a jazz musician.
Okay.
I'd rather be called a trumpeter, just
awesome.
a trumpet player. But you find that when you fuse this music with elements that you've grown up to, people relate to, then people have that relationship with it and they keep on buying into it. So it is, I'm hoping, growing locally, because if you look at the industry itself in general, over the last maybe 5 years, a lot of things have happened. And I think last year when I was I actually did a study for my MBA on the business models in the Kenya music industry.
Yeah.
And you find that it is a very well-documented path that people have taken, people have experimented. Now you can sit down and sort of craft a path around,
all right.
These things. Yeah. So it's growing. The arts are growing. They're getting bigger every day. Yes. It's very competitive, but with the right product, I think you can make it. Yeah.
Interesting. And maybe as we close off the interview, perhaps talk to us around how can we get more people having an interest in this music, be it at high schools, university level. Of course, one of the biggest barriers is awareness. Secondly, I want to believe that the trumpet you have in your hands is not something that is as very cheap out there in the market.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, perhaps if you can just give us a brief on that.
Yeah, I think it's the infrastructure, as you say, has to be right because unfortunately the arts are not very highly regarded in the syllabus, so to speak. But in terms of, it is, the funny thing is it's a growing industry, but then we're not really preparing people to come in and take it over. Okay. So obviously the policies have to change the infrastructure has to change. Like there has to be more relevance. At high school, there's a lot of music that happens for the festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it has to have relevance to what people want to buy outside, so that when young men and women are going into this from the early on, then they have the right mix of products, and also that these young people can actually make and create music they can actually live off. So there are some challenges in terms of the lack of that sort of investment. And as you say, it is very expensive, to even get equipment. Okay.
For example, how much does this cost?
This is a new one like this is $800. That's like 80,000.
Wow.
But it's not even like top of the range. It's just normal trumpet. Of course, it's something cheaper and stuff. But then, yes, the accessibility to these equipment, not just trumpet, like music equipment, pianos and all that.
Yeah.
And even maintaining those is not very cheap. I think it's not just music, but even like, say, photography, look at all this DJing, all that stuff. Equipment is expensive. So while there are people who are doing it and they can like role model young people to get into it, the challenge still is, how do I start? How do I get access to it? In my case, it was because I grew up in the Salvation Army, the brass band. So you just learned how to play an instrument as a hobby. But it's not an opportunity that very many people have to get into it. So perhaps, I don't know who would invest. I guess the industry, I don't want to just keep on saying the government should do this, but maybe the industry itself should now look at ways of investing in the industry.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right.
Itself.
Perhaps finally, where do you see Nairobi Horns projects in the, say, next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, Nairobi Horns is a movement. It's actually a group of musicians who believe in things beyond just making good music. So while we've been very fortunate to make music people like, our objectives go beyond just making music as a band, into like mentoring the general growth, of music on the scene in the country, and also using music as a tool to reach out to young people. So we're in phases. In the first phase, we're sort of like maybe phase 2 now. So now we're going into making more content, building a stronger brand for us, because I also realize that once you have a brand, then people listen to you, more, than your impact is bigger. So in the next 5 years, we'll have done a few albums, maybe 2 or 3, a few tours as a group, a lot of amazing performances, hopefully. But then also we will be working, there'll be like a whole chain of people who will be ready to take over. That we've had the opportunity to actually mentor and work with.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Wish you all the best, and looking forward to what 2017 holds for the music industry.
26th February, that's the main festival. And we are the Kenyan band that is on the stage amongst all these international acts. So please be there.
I will. Thank you very much.
Asante sana.
Makinle Musembi talking to us on matters to do with the music industry. And of course, just giving us more perspectives around the jazz genre and what it actually holds for this particular year. Some interesting music. And maybe this is just my request. If you could play for me the track by Louis Armstrong on The Skies Are Blue.
Skies Are Blue, which one is it? Is that What a Wonderful World?
Oh, yes. What a Wonderful World.
Okay. Well, do I have to do the whole Louis thing?
Not really. If you may.